Do you ever wake up in the morning with a pit in your stomach, struggling to get out of bed and to go to work? And you're super successful, you achieved the business of your dreams, got the career path journey that you always wanted. And even though you're so successful, you're not sure why you're showing up to work every day. Maybe you even feel depressed or anxious or guilty that you got this dream gig, you had arrived at this place and still don't feel connected to it, and maybe even wonder what the purpose is. What is your purpose? If this is you, hi, I'm Jennifer Zenz-Olson, owner and founder of Laughing Lotus Wellness and Purpose Expert. And what I do is I work with people that are just like you, who are feeling like they've arrived and achieved their dream, and yet don't necessarily feel at all connected to it. What I do is teach you to reignite your fire and to reconnect your purpose with your success. And so whether that means that you stay where you are or we change lanes to help you step back into that path of purpose, that's the work that we do. So today, I'm here to talk about renewal and your lens. And so what we want to talk about is this idea of how our lens affects everything, number one, and number two, how it affects our purpose. And so Cleo Wade, in her book Heart Talk, says, clean out your thoughts. They have the power to cover your entire life in dirt. And where I think she's going is that we can lose sight of the fact that the way that we see the world can be covered in our experiences and our stories and our pain. And so what happens is we can be looking through lenses, if you will, of a place in our journey that isn't necessarily supporting where we want to go. And Anais Nin said, we see things as not how they are, but how we are, right? So we know that our lens, that internal vision of the world, is super powerful. And every once in a while, we need to clean our lenses. We need to go in and dig deep and clean them off and honor the parts of the goggles that are dirty, because that's just our journeys. It's our stories. It's like, being in the thick of things, right? And so every once in a while we'll get some film and buildup, and we don't want to wipe it away as though it's some horrible disease, but rather, right, it's just like part of our journey. Like, those are our stories. And our stories are hugely important in our journey. So rather than dismissing it, I really encourage you to take a gentle form of compassion for yourself around those spots that might need some cleansing. And by that, I mean, approach it with curiosity and kindness, right? We don't need to get in there and be really negative to ourselves about the fact that we might need to cleanse our lenses a little. Our lenses, I always talked about this therapeutically for 20 plus years, right? Our lens is out here. And what it is everything that happens that comes into our world comes in through this lens. And this lens is all of your stories. It's all of your journey. It's all of the experiences. And this is for everybody, myself included, right? So we know that this lens plays a gigantic role in how we're going to look at everything around us, how we're going to see it, okay? And so I love her idea here about it can be covered in dirt. And so it sort of prevents us from looking at the world, other people, relationships, our jobs, with the beautiful set of eyes we have on the inside of us. So I'm going to take your eyeballs out of it kind of for a minute and think about the way that we imagine, the way that we experiencing it, like with our whole mind, not just the actual eyes, but your intuition. There's an internal eye that we have that is intuitive, and it tells us kind of if we're on the right track and what we're doing, and it brings in extra sensory information, and all of us have it. We carry it around with us everywhere we go. And so one, I invite you to cleanse those outer lenses, right? That okay, what are my stories that might be kind of bulking me up, and what might be getting in my way, and what can I release out of that and gently remove that. And then we want to step into this, okay, so I also have an intuitive eye. I want to check that lens. Is that lens functioning for me, right? And I want you to see how you might see out those lenses differently. So if I clean my lenses and instead I'm looking out using my intuitive eyes as well as my physical eyes, and I'm seeing the world and I remove some of the dirt, some of the grime, some of the hurt, some of the pain that we have all endured and experienced in our journeys here, I'm more capable of seeing the beauty. I'm more capable of seeing potential. I'm more capable of connecting to my purpose. When my lenses are clean and clear, I'm seeing the world as it is more than just as I am. Make perfect sense? Hopefully it does, okay? And so I love this idea. So in terms of your purpose, we can really get covered and we can really have dirty lenses because our lenses say things like, oh, these are my soul lenses. Here you go. These are my, I call them my spiritual goggles and insight timer. I said, you too can find spiritual goggles on Amazon for $9.99. You might want to look them up under Minion goggles. And by the way, these are the adult versions, so God only knows how small the kid ones are. But I just want to say, right, how it matters is that if we look at our purpose through lenses that are covered with pain, it can get in the way of us really come into contact with what we're meant here to do. If I started on a journey and I'm now in a totally different place, then I might think that my goggles are a disaster and I'll never get them clean. And I might be left feeling really super stuck. And so this idea of really cleansing those lenses and giving yourself new perspective and new ways of looking at things engages you totally different with the journey than feeling like it's just a mess that'll never get cleaned up. And so I love one of her steps in here too. Again, Cleo Wade in her book, Heart Talk. But she said this, and I think this is so beautiful. Gratitude is a spiritual and economical form of stress relief. But roll with me, that's just her quote. Then she says, learning the power of gratitude is not only wise, it is practical. When we understand how to feel grateful for what we have, we are free from the uneasy state of constantly wanting. A never-ending hunt for more puts the mind in a continual state of anxiety. But when we are thankful for what we have and understand the difference between what we want and what we need, we are able to relax the mind and put less pressure on ourselves to obsessingly upgrading the things in our life. Release the energy of more, and replace it with the energy of thank you, thank you, thank you. And what this outlines for us, my friends, is that we have the opportunity to renew ourselves over and over again. And we have the choice to step into a space of gratitude. So when I get in a space and I'm feeling a little bit heavy and I'm not exactly sure if I'm in the right, state of my mind, if I'm in the right space in my purpose, if I'm in the right job, the right relationship, I have the ability to change my lenses. And one of the things I might want to opt to do is add some gratitude in. Gratitude is huge. Okay, so there's just another way to look out the lenses, but I really want you to be able to see the beauty. I did an insight timer meditation this week where we did a cleansing, and then we went in and we had our eyes expanded. Our lenses were expanded and we could actually see the world as it was. And so it was a really powerful meditation. So I would invite you to go check out that meditation. It's Lens of the Soul. And I just think it was one of my very favorites ever because it really creates space for you to do the cleansing and then also stepping into an experience of what it would look like through eyes that aren't covered with this stuff, this muck. So I would invite you to go check that out. I think that's huge. And I would invite you to think about what areas of your life would it help you to look at differently? Do we need more gratitude? Do we need more inspiration? We've talked a lot about inspiration. We've talked about our agreements that we make with ourselves, sometimes unknowingly, right? I've been talking a lot about the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, but I've really also talked to people about creating their own and understanding what their own agreements are. And so our agreements are often created up from our lenses because all the experiences come in and then I formulate that into a way of thinking and seeing the world that means something to me that might not make sense to the person right next door. And are they helpful? Some are going to be good and some are going to be not so helpful. If my ideas look like, if my agreements are, I can't ever do anything right. I can never achieve my dreams. This will never happen for me. Then my lens needs some cleaning, right? Those are not helpful. If my lens is always leave the world a better place than I found it, that's a pretty freaking epic agreement, right? So I invite you to take a look at that, to step into this idea of like, where might you renew your lens? Do you need to redo a story in your life, right? Do we need to release that, to have a different set of eyes? Do we need to pick up a new spiritual practice? I love this idea. Sometimes we know novelty, I'll talk about it till I'm blue in the face. We always need new stuff. And so it might be that we need some novelty in our life. We need some new something. So I tell people like, hey, pick up a set of mala beads and try doing mantra on a mala bead. Try adding meditation for 5 minutes in your morning routine. Go for a morning walk every morning and count your blessings. Think about gratitude, right? Cleo Wade. How can I just be thankful for this moment, for this breath, for this sun shining morning, for the birds singing, whatever it is, right? Whatever your jam is. There's so many ways to be in incorporating things in that really facilitate lens cleaning. And one of those is definitely spiritual practice. Definitely thinking too, we've talked a lot about thoughts already this month, so I kind of wanted to shift a little bit into the spiritual journey of it. Like, can I reinvent my spiritual piece of what I'm doing and how I'm showing up? So it might be sitting in silence more often in a meditation. If you're always doing, guided visualizations, right? I kind of tend to do that. So every once in a while, I'll challenge myself to sit in more quiet. Maybe it's chanting, right? Maybe it's trying a new class. It doesn't always have to be super woo-woo to have a really profound impact on you. Maybe it's journaling, right? So there's so many small little steps and stages that we can use to kind of really plug into shifting our lenses, and your spiritual piece is one mega epicenter for changing this. Your lens can be decidedly shifted by engaging in some spiritual journey. Learning and growing, right? This is what we do, all of us. So what I invite you to do is to follow along with this content and this journey, and head over and follow me and subscribe to my Facebook. And what you're going to do there is get all of the emails, and in there I share content, but also you're going to be able to get these vlogs. So this is really going to be where I'm going to end up placing all of my vlogs. And so if you're interested in the content that sometimes goes with these meditations, where I've kind of said that they all go together. So what I'm doing in Insight Timer goes with the content that I'm teaching elsewhere. And so if you want to kind of have all the puzzle pieces, I strongly encourage that you go over and subscribe so that you can get that content together, which just boosts your lens. It boosts your learning and your experience in your journey. And I would really love to see you go over and subscribe so that I can support that journey for you and living a life of purpose. That's really kind of what I want to do. And it's just going to look like different language and different tools and skills, but we're doing the same kind of work. So I would love it if you go over and subscribe. I would love to be your partner on your path to purpose. And so that's really what I'm inviting you to do by subscribing. So I invite you into this space, and I challenge you as you go into the week to pick an area to shift your lens. And so however you want to do that, and we'll be talking about that in my live on Monday. On Mondays, I go live at 10:30 on all social media platforms. And what we do is we talk about this. And so we'll review that on Monday. So for the next handful of days, I invite you to renew your lens. Think of a way that you want to shift the way that you are viewing the world, yourself, relationships. Pick a tool, and then hone in on it and come back next Monday and tell me how it goes. I would love to hear about how it goes. Gratitude is one. I just want to throw it out there because gratitude is a really powerful tool that can do a lot for us. And so if you want to check out that concept around gratitude, there is an abundance of material out there. If you want to check out my meditation, please do that. That's a great tool for beginning to open up those lenses and clearing them first, and then stepping into a new way of seeing things. And so there's lots of different ways you can do this, but I invite you into that for this next week. And then Monday at 10:30 in the morning, we're all going to get together, well, Central Standard Time. We're going to get together and we're going to talk through this and see what you came up with for how you wanted to cleanse the lens, but also what you shifted to see through them differently is a form of renewal. So Jen signing off, blessings, love, and light, and your guide on your path to purpose. And I can't wait to see you on Monday morning. So go over and subscribe on my website, laughinglotuswellness.com, and subscribe, get in the queue, because I want you to be able to receive vlogs and things like that as they come out, because they go really nicely with the meditations. And so I invite you over to do that so that you're all in place for when I start rolling them out in that fashion. Then you will easily have them. So I can't wait to hear about what you renewed on Monday. I get super excited. I had some people come live this week and it was really powerful. Some people came on Instagram with me live and shared space. I would love for you to do that. It's like free coaching. And you're sharing your story for other people to hear, and it makes it so much more valid for them. So I hope to see you on Monday morning on Instagram or Facebook Live, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. But go over and subscribe. Like I said, get that taken care of so that you're in the wheelhouse for all of this content that I'm creating, and you will always receive that. So I would love to see you do that. All right, friends, have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you on Monday to discuss renewing the lens of the soul. See how you've been doing, and we're going to pick up and move on from there into our last little bit of April. It's so crazy. Time is going so quickly. And so I can't believe we're already in the last week thinking about this last week of April and our content. And then we're going to move into the month of May, which I'm super stoked about. So sign up. Let's see you Monday morning at 10:30. And we will talk more then. But I hope that you can take this idea of renewing your soul lens and do something really magical with it for the next handful of days to about a week. And then let's see what else we can come up with to keep you on your journey. All right, guys, take care. Blessings, love, and light. This is Jen with Laughing Lotus Wellness. See you next time.